Hey TGIF, and thanks for joining me today on the new installment of Fridays with Flora. And today we're going to start to wind down the garden for fall. I know, let's all have a moment of silence as we start to slowly say goodbye to summer. But fall will wait for no one, right? Pumpkin spice lattes and all that, not wait for anybody. And that also includes some plants in your garden. And one of those plants in the back that I need to tend to are some lavender bushes. Lavender bushes like a good pruning in the spring, but they also like to be cut back in the fall. And sometimes I have time to do it and sometimes I don't. This year I'm carving out time to take care of it because the old wood, it's getting all scraggly, and when you start getting scraggly lavender bushes, you get less flowers, and it's also just doesn't look nice. You don't have the nice mound of lavender growth like you see in those beautiful images of lavender fields in France on Pinterest that I long to have my lavender bushes look like. So we're going to make an attempt. We're going to prune it back about a third, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So come join me in the garden today, and we'll get to work. So get your sun hat, your sunblock, and enjoy the last waning days of summer.
All right, we're out in the yard right now, and you can see it's starting to get a little tired, you know, a lot of spent blooms because it's this third week of August. So right now is a great time to cut back your lavender. And if you can look at my lavender, it's looking really scraggly. So we're going to cut back a third of the growth. This is the perfect time to do it, now and next week. I'm going to show you how. Okay, so I'm going to start from the top, and then I'm going to work my way down. Please excuse my dog, my neighbor's dog. It's not my dog, it's my neighbor's dog. Evidently he's going to join our video. So when I say a third of the growth, you know, starting from the top, and this is on a piece of old wood. So the old wood is down here. And I'm going to cut about that much. When I get to the piece of old wood down below, I don't know if you can see it, I'm going to cut just above it about 3 nodules of so with this as kind of my guide, I'm just going to start snip, snip, snipping. As you go, if you see any, you know, dead or diseased limbs, All right, I'm going to work on the back now. So you can see on this front half, we've got a nice compact mound, and it's generally even with this year's growth, about, you know, 2/3 left. And you know, the old wood is along the bottom. Try not to cut too much of the old wood, because the new growth doesn't really happen on the old wood if you cut too much. And generally the rule is to leave about like 3 tufts of leaves above the old wood if you're going to cut and trim up any of the old wood. But if you've got some scraggly wood that's not really doing much of anything and it's making the plant look scraggly, which honestly this plant does have that, and you've got plenty of growth already happening, you know, you can cut some of that out, you know, that looks kind of dead and doing some really odd growth. So it just kind of cleans up the plant. It allows air to kind of circulate better. So I'm going to keep going on the back. As I'm going, I'm seeing some flowers I missed that are nice and dried out, so I'm also snipping those off. I'm seeing a lot of dead wood back here that I'm just kind of cleaning up the plant, because that's what makes things look a little brambly, and again doesn't allow air to circulate. So then you get things like powdery mildew, black spot, those kinds of things. There we are. Could probably cut a little bit more in the back there. You know, as you step back, take a look. You might think I'm being a little too aggressive with my lavender, but here's the deal. I haven't done this, and it has been looking scraggly. I'm getting lots of lavender flowers. There we go. And there we are. So, also keep in mind, with it being the last few weeks of August, you know, we've got September to allow for, you know, plants to kind of start getting dormant, establish themselves if you're replanting anything, putting bulbs in. So definitely use this next couple weeks to figure out what needs to get pruned, what maybe you can move around and split. And you can also find really great deals at the garden centers right now, because they're going to be selling off plants that are kind of root bound, and it's the end of the season. So you can get plants for like 50% off, 70% off, and now's the time to plant them, and you still have some time to get the roots established. You can also use some root stimulator or some Epsom salt to get the root systems going, so come first frost, they'll be fine and they'll be established and they'll come back in the spring. Anyway, that's Fridays with Flora. in the garden today, and join me next week when we do a little bit of baking. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye-bye.